Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be ranking WoW expansions. This has been something that's been on my mind quite a bit. I've been thinking about past expansions a lot, and I'm going to be doing basically a video on it. So a few things before we start. I know people get very heated about what expansion is their favorite, etc. So if you can't handle an opinion, click off the video now. I feel like there's no right or wrong opinions on this, so I'd be very interested in hearing in the comment section down below what your favorite expansion is. And then last but not least, I'm going to be ranking this in 4 different categories. One will be super amazing expansion, my personal favorites. Two will be it was a good expansion, but it didn't blow me away like the first row did. Three will be I'm just neutral about it, didn't love it, didn't hate it. And four will be it was a terrible expansion. So those are my categories, and let's go ahead and start off with Classic. I know Classic is still going on right now, and it was a thing a while back. People went ballistic over it. For me personally, it was a one type of thing for me. I have played every expansion, by the way, all the way through, taking no breaks. But for me, Classic was just a one-time thing. I loved it way back when I first started this game, but when I was obviously younger. But for me today, it's just I couldn't get back into it. I tried, I really tried, but there's just so many things that I enjoy about the game today, even with how it's not really in the greatest spot right now. There's just so many things that I really enjoy that I couldn't get back into. So classic is just in the neutral category to me because I didn't hate it, but and I definitely loved it back in the day, and I had made so many good memories about it, and so that's the reason why I'm putting it in the neutral category. I just couldn't do the rank 14 grind again. Couldn't level. I'm not interested in 40-man raids again. It's just there's like so many things I'm just not interested like it was back in the day. So that's the reason I personally put this in the third category because I feel like a lot more people like classic because of the whole leveling thing. That's at least what I hear from people, and it's just not my cup of tea personally. So didn't hate it, don't love it, but I loved it back in the day. If that makes any sense. Burning Crusade is actually about to be out soon, in June, I think. I tried the beta, and it's just going back in the third category for me. It's basically kind of like classic, just a little bit improved. And I am just not really into Burning Crusade like I am with Classic. It's basically the same exact thing like Classic for me. Didn't love it, didn't hate it, and made good memories. It's definitely improved a few stuff, but for me personally, Burning Crusade is just a one done type of deal. And the one thing if I did have to rank Burning Crusade, it would be higher than Classic for sure because I loved Karazhan. Karazhan's like the best raid in the game to me. That was by far my favorite raid, and I'm not even a PvE type of person. I loved Karazhan by far, hands down the best of the raid. That's like, I would rank it higher, but it's just like there's so much better stuff that improved the game over time, so that's why I'm putting it in the third category. But yeah, Karazhan was like the best highlight of me for Burning Crusade. Everything else just yeah, I couldn't get back into unfortunately. Up next is Wrath of the Lich King, which obviously I know everybody's gonna say is overrated, but I loved Wrath of the Lich King. There was so many good memories. I loved everything about Wrath of the Lich King. I loved all the raids. The PvP was fun. Class design I feel like was pretty good. I have a little bit of a hard time remembering that, but for the most part, I think class design was pretty good. And Wintergrass, I know Wintergrass is a thing in retail right now, but it's nowhere near like it was in Wrath of the Lich King. And if they do make a classic Wrath of the Lich King again, I don't know if it'll end up being the same like I remember. Probably not, but I loved doing Wintergrass things back then. I loved every zone. Even the PvE raids were pretty good. I love that. There's just so many good things about Wrath of the Lich King, which is why I'm putting it in the first category. It's not my favorite expansion, but it is certainly up there on the list. So that's the reason why I'm putting it on row number 1. Up next is Cataclysm. Am debating on putting this on 1 or 2. I think I'm going to put this on 2. Just because I feel like it didn't blow me away, but it was definitely a good expansion. I think Cataclysm is around the time when the PvP system was starting to be good. If anybody remembers Mists of Pandaria slash Warlords, kind of around that PvP system type of thing, and that's the main reason why I'm putting this high up on the list because of the PvP system. Cataclysm obviously had some issues, but in my opinion, the PvP system is what made this expansion good to me, good for me. As well as I loved Tolbrad. Those are like my two main things I loved about Cataclysm was I could be wrong about the PvP system, so if I'm wrong, whatever, but I believe that's when it started getting like on track of becoming the good PvP system for like Pandaria and Warlords. Because there was one set of gear for honor and conquest. So yeah, the PvP system basically, and Tolbrad were like the two huge highlights for Cataclysm for me. Mists of Pandaria, by far my favorite expansion. Nothing ever comes close to Mists of Pandaria. It's just number one. It's practically got everything. The world PvP was amazing on Timeless Style. The PvP gearing system was the best. It hands down was a super freaking amazing. I loved the PvP system, and if Blizzard had any brains in trying to save their game, they would actually implement something like that again. But that's probably never going to happen, and I'm just praying for a Miss Pandaria realm at some point. But it's probably not going to happen anytime soon, if at all, because they might stop after Wrath, because that's technically, I guess, when the subs will start going down. So who knows? But I'm crossing my fingers. Eventually, that'll happen. So yeah, Timeless Iron World PvP was the best. PvP system was number one. It was just nothing can beat that PvP system for me. No class was bad. I feel like every class was good. I think the only class people were like laughing at were Ret Paladins. But even then, like every class was good. Warlock was insane. You could cast on the move. With casters, I feel like there was no bad class to be honest. So Mists of Pandaria, by far my favorite expansion, probably the best expansion. Again, there's no right or wrong answer. It's my opinion, of course. People can disagree with me, fine. Just don't go along trashing other people's opinions. So be it. But yeah, Mists of Pandaria, along with from what I've seen, a lot of other people bring it up, was definitely the highlight of WoW PvP, at least for me. This is gonna get me a lot of hate, but I have to put this up here. And Warlords was one of my favorite expansions, and the only reason I am putting Warlords on number one is because it was really good PvP expansion. It really was. For those that didn't play Warlords, there was a PvP system that would give you honor and conquest and would put you on par against PvE mythic raiders, and it would scale up, and it was just so good. It was so good. And like that is probably the best PvP system in the game until Blizzard just removed it from us for whatever reason. On top of that, Mists of Pandaria didn't have this, but Warlords did. You could actually buy Conquest slash Honor tokens and gear up your alts easier. You can gear up alts easier in Ashran. I know I'm in the minority when I say I liked Ashran. World PvP was super amazing. I loved it. They also had a Coliseum free-for-all, which was pretty fun. So that's my main reason why I'm putting Warlords on number one. I know I will get trashed to oblivion because I freaking put Warlords up there. But if you think about it realistically, the PvP, that expansion was actually good. Compare it to what we've gotten now, Shadowlands and BFA, stuff like that. It's so good. And I'm never going to change my opinion on that. The PvP system and everything in Warlords was way too good. All right, up next is Legion, and I'm putting this in the good category. I didn't like Legion that much personally, but after BFA and currently Shadowlands, it's changed my stance a little bit. I think it was a really good expansion. I like the world PvP personally. That was probably like my favorite thing to do that expansion pack was the world PvP. And I think the second best thing was the fact that alts were easier to play. I know templates turned a lot of people off. But it was nice to definitely play alts a lot easier in Legion than currently right now, at least in my opinion. So otherwise, it would have been probably in the neutral category. But for me, it like Legion and BFA definitely changed my mind. I mean, not Legion. BFA and Shadowlands has currently changed my mind on Legion, and I'm putting this in the good category because if you think about it realistically, it was a decent expansion. It just shut short of the top three for me. Battle for Azeroth, I don't think needs anything to be said. It was just not that great of an expansion. It was terrible. It is currently better, at least than Shadowlands, which is not saying much, but it was a terrible expansion. PvE gear ruled. Class design was pretty bad, except I do admit I do miss the BFA balance droid. That's literally the only thing I enjoyed about BFA if I had to pick something. Rating behind gear was back in Battle for Azeroth, which sucked. I think the only thing I could say that BFA did kind of do okay on was scaling was still a thing, so you could semi-play alts. But BFA was still trash, and it's one of the worst expansions they've actually ever made. And yeah. Last but not least, leaves Shadowlands. Obviously, yes, Shadowlands is not even in the first patch. Realistically, it could change. I highly doubt it will. And I'm just gonna say this right now: Shadowlands is definitely the worst expansion they have ever made, by far. And I don't think it's gonna beat BFA. I think BFA is actually beating Shadowlands right now. The first patch isn't even out, and I think Shadowlands has lost more players than the entire BFA so far. Like I've never seen the expansion die so fast before first patch in like ever of playing this game. It's actually extremely impressive. Things I hate about Shadowlands. Year behind rating. Worst thing they've ever done. Boosters in rank ones have actually taken over arena to the point where I really bash my skull into a freaking wall every time I do arena. Rated battlegrounds are kind of fun, I guess, but people leave after one loss, so that's always a pain. And I haven't done rated battlegrounds now in probably a few months. I'm hearing bad things about that now of boosters, so that's probably taken over. That's because more people keep quitting. So the only thing I like about Shadowlands right now is Necrolord Feral Druid. I literally have not played much of anything else outside of recording videos due to that. So that's the only thing I like about Shadowlands. Everything else has been destroyed. PvP gearing is destroyed. It's terrible right now. The destroyed balance droid to me, I know it's OP right now, but I don't like the playstyle of it. So yeah, if I had to rank any Shadowlands right now, it'd be in freaking 8 right now, and not even 4. I'm ranking it all the way at 8 because it's terrible. So that's my honest opinion. I know a lot of people are probably gonna hate my choices on some of these, but yeah, that's my honest opinion. Um, so I guess that's it, guys. Let me know what your guys' choices are. Um, I'd be interested in hearing what your ranking for WoW expansions are. And I will catch you guys later.